To you Virgos, you have the Seven of Swords, the Magician, which is Virgo, and then you have the Tower card. So these three cards for you, Virgos, a lot of you represent how a lot of you are in a situation where you there's a sense of you Virgos basically drawing the line when it comes to the respect factor that people have with you, right? Um, right. Then you have the Two of Swords, which is they find it hard to adapt to that respect because that line because um honestly, I don't know how this happens, but a lot of people think of us Virgos as being dumb. More so, specifically, they think of us as not having boundaries that they are due to respect. So what they'll do is they will disrespect us quite a lot because, like it is, I said before, Virgo, Pisces, that whole sadomasochism thing, and this is part of the reason why love can be the most difficult part of our lives often because other people's like it becomes corrupted because other people's problem with it, especially if we're trying to love them the correct way, and the people that we pick, right? We got to be mindful about the people that we pick, where we have to understand what a healthy significant other would look like, right? This is where we have to take responsibility as well. And see, the thing is that us as Virgos, right? We're December 30th. Tomorrow's the last day of 2024, literally until the fiscal new year at least comes 2025 on Wednesday. Us as Virgos, we're learning how to create said lines, right? Better lines, understand our lines better in a sense of understanding our boundaries. We're not so caught up with striving to make people like us and be people pleasers to the point where we will allow ourselves to be disrespected. And like it is, I said before, then you have the Two of Swords. And this represents how a lot of people don't necessarily like that, especially if we started early. They don't like it. They don't like the fact that us as Virgos, we're doing our thing. We're doing our thing. If we have anything to do, they don't want us to leave. They don't, want us to do our own thing. If you Virgos have someone who's interested, or if you Virgos are going on any kind of self-improvement missions where you're focusing on yourself, you're not really concentrating on a whole lot of people. You're focusing on yourself. Again, the Two of Swords. People don't really like that. They want you to still interact with them, and to interact and find out, a little bit more about you because they like you. But the thing is that the Nine of Wands represents, truth be told, a lot of you Virgos don't necessarily understand how important to said people you actually are, because this is a representation about how you Virgos ultimately, you matter quite a lot to those individuals. You matter more than what it is that you think. And that the fact that you Virgos have drawn lines, maybe you have decided to actually start being more of a loner. A lot of people don't like that. They would like your attention. They would like to interact with you more. They enjoy your interactions quite a lot. They may like you, but I just see you Virgos seeing that what you would like to see happen, right? A potential relationship, a romantic one. I just see that a lot of you Virgos are becoming a lot better, just much better at predicting or seeing if it's going to be worth it, right? So it's this sense of you Virgos are learning to weigh out. Let me get on to the next couple cards. You have the Hierophant and the Fool, right? And the Ten of Cups. And These three cards right here just represents what it is that I was talking about. It represents you Virgos are just being able to weigh out the risk versus reward, the value versus the effort that you put into these connections with people. And I just see that you Virgos look at it from a perspective of they may like you. Okay, let me cook, right? They may like you and you may like them back, right? Um, but I just see that you Virgos understand that just because they may like you and you may like them does not necessarily mean, I've talked about. I talk about it rarely, but this is something that does need to be talked about. Um, just because you like each other does not mean that anything will be done about it, because take it from me, I know personally what that feels like, where a person kind of shows signs that they like you and you may like them, but does anything happen out of that? No, because they're so busy trying to be they're so busy trying to be adversarial to you, waste your time, play games with you. It doesn't matter how much the two of you like each other. Nothing ever gets actualized. No milestones ever get established. Nothing actually happens from that. And so it's from there I realized, right, from my own experiences, that just because a person or two people may like each other, it does not necessarily mean that those two people will actually make something happen. Sometimes it's a matter of a person, and this is what I mean when I say that this is why a lot of people will end up getting up on a computer and talking some nonsense later on down the road, because they let decent individuals like you Virgos walk right past them, right? And I'm talking about the decent ones. I'm not talking about the low-level Virgos who are caught up with lying and being a philanderer and all of that, and like trying to get at everything moving that they into. I'm talking about us Virgos who understand the value and not necessarily going and hanging out with another person when you already have a person. How, understanding how difficult, relationships can be and all of that, and not necessarily really trying to get another one just for the sake of the ego and trying to prove that you can essentially do it. And so the Ten of Cups right here represents how, us as Virgos, basically, we understand what this means. We understand what's happening here. And we also understand that ultimately, we have to be content with that. This is where the drawing of the lines, in the Seven of Swords and not people not liking it in the Two of Swords comes from. It's the fact that we as Virgos, we are able to now assess situations much more correctly, because us as Virgos, one of our flaws is the fact that we like people, and some people may like us, but we may wait on a relationship that may never actually really happen, even though the person may like us and we may like them, or they may like us and we may not even know that they may like us and we may not even know it, right? Because they're not showing us any kind of interest. So we may just be thinking to ourselves, okay, well, this is just a regular neighbor, right? This is just an individual that we just happen to be speaking to. Because us as Virgos, we a lot of us, of course not all, but a lot of us Virgos, we don't tend to assume that people like us. Okay? That's not our bag. That's not what it is that us as Virgos do. We tend to want to gather, especially the more open-minded of us. We tend to want to gather more information, right? Mercury, more information before that actually happens. Before we like, okay, let me try my hand with this real quick, right? So then you have the World card and the Eight of Swords. And these two cards right here, it speaks to how it's semi complicated, because the World card is one of the best cards to have in a reading, let alone if it's the ending card. Now, granted, the World card did not end this reading, but it is the second to last card. So it's one card after, it's the runner-up card to the last card, which is the Eight of Swords. And the World card right here just basically represents the world, and the Eight of Swords represents us as Virgos have so much opportunity coming to us in money, in love, in our health, good opportunity, right? The Eight of Swords, however, speaks to how we just have to stay focused, basically, on said opportunity, on striking while the iron is hot, right? Or so the saying goes. So, so amazing read. Let's clarify the Magician. You know, people need to see, you know, I want to see you shuffle up the cards. Three of Swords, Page of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles, the Strength card, and then you have the Five of Pentacles. So the Three of Swords and the Page of Pentacles right here speaks to how, yes, because we've gotten our heart broken enough, and we've gained a lot of experiences because of the ups, because of the downs. You know, that's kind of one of the things that us as Virgos don't really talk about, is the fact that, you know, we'll think that we've finally arrived sometimes, and that we have found a person that could be with us for a long time, because this person seems to understand us, and then they let us down. And granted, right, like, disappointment is a part of it, right? But I want you Virgos to understand that disappointment is a part of it. I'm not talking about delusion. I'm talking about when they let us down. I'm talking about they betray us, right? It's not about them letting us down. It's about them crashing out to the point where it ruins the trust of the would-be relationship, is what I mean. And that is what us as Virgos need to understand, right? Because we need to keep developing. It's not about people disappointing us, and we got to get over that, because if we're holding people to an impossible standard of, okay, we will hang out and don't ever disappoint me, then we're in the wrong for that. I'm not even gonna lie, we're in the wrong for that. We need to stop thinking that way, okay? But as long as we understand that we will be disappointed and be okay with it, right? As long as it's not too wild, and as long as the disappointment does not really step on the toes of the trust of the relationship. Now, if it steps on the trust, then that's a problem. Then obviously you shouldn't be with them. So that's part of our problem, right? Like, we'll think that we found someone. And then you have the Seven of Pentacles, the Strength card, and the Five of Pentacles, which represents us as Virgos. We just need to essentially do what we need to do and stop worrying about others, right? And focus on ourselves, which is what we're doing. So let's clarify the World card. You have the Nine of Wands, the Eight of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, Four of Swords, and then you have the King of Cups to clarify the World card, right? So the World is plenty of opportunity. You have the Nine of Wands and the Eight of Pentacles. So the Nine of Wands speaks to how much we seek to accomplish, how much opportunity we have. And it's so much that we could have, But it's like us as Virgos are trying to figure out where do we even start. And then you have the Eight of Pentacles. We're trying to get it all. We're trying to get as much advantage out of this year moving forward as much as possible. This is why it is that we had to let those individuals go for a little bit so that we can concentrate on ourselves. And then you have the Ace of Pentacles, the Four of Swords, and the King of Cups. And who we, as Virgos, the ones of us who are striving to become better, who we will be, you know, if we do it successfully, who knows what it'll exactly look like. But we know that we'll be proud of ourselves, and that's what we're going after. So that's pretty much it for now. Trying to get the YouTube channel to over 100K. I'm at 17,700 and change. Smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, hit the notification bell, set that notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever I drop my videos, and come through to get my readings. Appreciate it if you would. The link to that is in the comment section below, called the Linktree link.